everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about concealers, specifically under eye concealers for men and women over a certain age. Maybe you're over 35, 40, rapidly approaching 45 and beyond. This video is for you. If you have been struggling to find a concealer that doesn't age you, that doesn't cake up on you, that doesn't make your under eyes look like the Sahara Desert, then please stay tuned for my picks for the best under eye concealers. Now, the last time I did a video like this where I really talked about concealers and brighteners was over a year ago. So I definitely have some new things to show you. I also did a best foundations for mature skin video. If you want to check that out, I'm going to link it in the description box. And as I did in the foundation video, I am going to be showing you products that are not all cruelty-free. If this is the first video of mine you are seeing, you might not know this, but for about the past 6 or 7 months or so, I have been trying to move my channel into a cruelty-free direction, not repurchasing products that aren't cruelty-free, but I already owned these. So if they aren't cruelty-free, I figured I should still show them to you because I've tried them, I have an opinion on them, and that's what this video is for, is to share my opinion of what I think are the best ones. Now, I would say that on a scale of 1 to 5 for dark circles, mine are about a 3. They're certainly not non-existent, but they're not horrible either. But that is my biggest problem with concealers, is that I find that the more full coverage they are, or the more they cover, the more cakey they are. I also find that the thicker they are, the more likely they are to settle into the fine lines under my eyes. And I know that that is an issue with so many of you because I hear that all the time. The question of how do I keep my concealer from creasing? Well, the number one suggestion I have is, before we get into the actual products, is the skin prep. I know if you're anything like me, you own an eye cream, but you might not be using it as much as you should be. An eye cream is essential morning and night. I have also showed you, and I should have brought it down, I've shown in other videos, the Amazing Cosmetics primer, under eye concealer primer. I think that is really, really good. I mean, we prime the rest of our faces. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us will use a face primer, an eyeshadow primer, but we don't use one under the eye. And I find that it does make a difference, that putting that Amazing Cosmetics primer under the eye, or even using a really good eye cream, depending on your needs. If your eyes are really, really dehydrated, then obviously you're gonna need a thicker eye cream. If you're not that bad, like I don't consider my eyes, because the rest of my face is oily, my under eye area isn't super, super dry. Of course, it's getting drier as I get older, but it's not super, super dry, so I can get away with using a thinner consistency eye cream. And you always wanna let it sit for a good 3 minutes or so before you start applying concealer, because that can, number one, it can shear it out, so you're not getting the same level of coverage. And number two, it can make it disappear faster. So eye cream or under eye primer, that will definitely help with any concealer you're using. Now, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. A lot of this is gonna come down to trial and error. A lot of finding the perfect concealer is gonna come down to trial and error. So what a video like this is gonna do for you, it's not gonna guarantee anything. I can't guarantee that you're gonna go out and buy one of these and you're gonna love it as much as I do. But what I can tell you is that in this assortment of concealers that I am gonna be presenting to you, I truly believe that if you tried them all, not saying you're going to or you should, but I'm certain that there's quite a few in here that you have already tried and maybe you liked and maybe you didn't. But I'm pretty confident that within this product assortment, there's gonna be a concealer that's gonna be perfect for you. I feel like I've covered a lot of different textures, a lot of different formulas, so I'm gonna stop talking and get to showing you what they are. LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is such a great, affordable option. I believe I pay like under $4 for mine. I have them in several colors. I use the darker shades for contour, but it comes in a variety of shades. It comes in corrector colors, and it's a little bit of a thicker consistency, but I find that it doesn't settle into my fine lines and it has amazing, amazing coverage. Now, as with any of these concealers, if you have more texture under your eye, you might have a different result than I had with this. But overall, I think that anybody I have put this on that had a more mature under eye, it's worked really, really well. And I've got several more affordable options to show you, 2 of them being from Maybelline. I'm pretty sure these are on almost everybody's list of best concealers for mature skin. I am so bummed that Maybelline is not cruelty free, because this age rewind, I have gone through so many of these. This is the fair, but I've used the light. I haven't used I think there's a corrector color also, or a brightening. I haven't used those. I've mostly always used, no, I have always used the fair and the light, and I've gone through so many of these. I just love it. The coverage is great. It has hydrating properties. It's just so good, I feel. And then also the Fit Me concealer. This is another good one. If you have a lot of texture under your eyes or dryness, and you've felt that maybe this one clung to any dry patches or settled in, it was a little bit too heavy, then try the Fit Me, because it's a little bit lighter texture. It's more of a liquidy texture, and I feel like this one has more coverage, but this one definitely, there's really no chance of it caking up. The other 2 affordable concealers that I really love are the NYX HD Photogenic Studio Concealer and the Gotcha Covered Waterproof Concealer. This one I think is a newer product, at least newer than this HD one. This one reminds me a lot of the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, which I also think is excellent for mature under eyes. I did a dupe video a couple months ago, and there was somebody in the comments that said that they thought they were totally different. But my experience was that when I put one on one eye and then the other on another eye, the coverage was the same. They felt the same going on. So, I mean, of course, people could disagree, but I think that if you've tried this one, but maybe it's just too much for you to spend every however long it takes you to go through a concealer, try this one. I mean, it can't hurt to try. It's under $6, I believe, and I think it's very, very good. This one, this Gotcha Concealer, is a little bit of a thicker consistency, but I gotta tell you, the coverage is great. So again, if you have a lot of texture under your eye, I might recommend mixing this with a little eye cream to sheer it out, because it is a little bit thicker, it's a little bit stickier. And I find that concealers like this definitely need to be set. I know a lot of women and men with mature skin, they don't want to set their under eye concealer because it can be aging if you put powder under the eye. But there are definitely powders out there, and I've talked about them in other videos of mine, that do not make the concealer look worse. It doesn't make the under eye look more dry and aged. So definitely look into some of my other videos. I might as well just tell you, you guys know. The Ben Nye Luxury Powder, the Monica Dar Powder. I also actually like the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Not her translucent powder that you see a lot of YouTubers use, but the brightening powder. I think a light dusting of that is actually really, really nice and works well over these creamier, tackier concealers that tend to have better coverage. Now, this Amazing Cosmetics Amazing Concealer is one that I used for years and years. This is the one that a lot of celebrity makeup artists use. It comes in a lot of different colors. I sold it at my makeup boutique, and it just covers dark circles so well. And of course, if you have more texture under your eye, I've just said this, that the thicker consistency concealers, the ones with the higher coverage, a lot of times they're more likely to settle into fine lines, and they're more likely to cling to textured under eye areas. So that's why I say with any of these, your mileage may vary, because it's going to depend on what you are working with as far as texture, lines, and dark circles go. Now, I recently started using and really liking this Kevyn Aucoin Super Natural Concealer. It's not like the fullest coverage concealer I've ever tried, but it has just enough brightening and it never looks cakey. I've worn this a couple times and every time I look in the mirror late in the day, it still looks fresh. It doesn't look like it's emphasized any texture or that it's settled. And I can see this being a holy grail concealer for someone who maybe doesn't have super dark circles, but they do have dry under eyes, they do have some texture, and they're just looking for a natural looking concealer, because this really is, it really does live up to its name, super natural. It's very, very natural looking, but yet still effective in lightening and brightening. Oh, I do have one more to show you that I almost forgot about. It's the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. So this one is supposed to keep the eye really hydrated, but I found that it has really good coverage. Again, doesn't settle. And if you've maybe tried some of the others, but you've never considered this is one I definitely, especially for the price, it's a decent price point. And I just think Bare Minerals did a really good job with this concealer, because when I first started selling the brand years ago at my store, they didn't have any type of liquid or cream concealers. They only had powder concealers, and was not a fan. This one is really nice. Okay guys, those are my picks for the best concealers for mature skin. Even if you don't have mature skin, maybe you're in your 20s, all of these are excellent and definitely worth trying. So as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel for new content at least twice a week. You can also follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter. All of that is under the name Risa Does Makeup. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you very soon.